Hey, good evening. Welcome to Battlebots. Moving to Alaska. Uh, just an update tonight. I am still out in the Great Wildlands here in Even Online. If you watch my previous videos, I moved out here a couple days ago. Well, didn't move. Kind of scouting out the area. I don't think I'll ever fully move to an area. um, but long story short, this is my first trek into NPC space. I took some runs in with a skilled frigate and then a low skilled destroyer. Flew around a bit and kind of liked it. If you've watched again my previous videos, it's kind of like being up in Alaska or uh, like territories. I'm almost kind of role playing in a way. Um, I'm I've gotten away from power gaming, especially with Eve. Every time I play a game and I start power gaming, it's fun for a little while, and then I slowly get bored with it. And the one thing I really love with Eve, it seems like, is that there's so many options. And I was just watching a video the other day on it, and they were debating uh, how to win or who has won in Eve. And um, what are winning conditions? Most games you play, you can win at something, um, and whether or not you could win at Eve. And I think the best way to win at Eve is just to have fun and always be interested. And so far, I have been. So, to get to it, I am out here in the Great Wildlands, hanging out. I do have some long-term plans that I'm slowly mm, like working on that change daily as I learn more. Got some great feedback from a buddy of mine who is uh, uh, gives me we bounce some ideas off of each other, and um, one thing I do want to do at some point is move my planetary interaction out here, most likely. Um, Maybe build a corporation. I don't know if it would. I think part of it would stay here, or maybe another NPC area, or nullsec or something like that. I really do like the idea of this being player driven. Um, I'm really seeing in my scouting missions all over the area a dichotomy of different types of gameplay. Um, so I'm interested. You can't see it, but there's a smudge on my screen. There we go. So I am out here. Ooh, hey, gotta look at my screen. There we go. Um, it's strangely cold right now in Pennsylvania. Hopefully it'll get better in the next couple of days. But that's why I've got the hoodie on. All right, I always wear a hoodie. But um, so I got my rupture out here, and just to do a quick comparison, this will be just kind of fly by the pants, seat of my pants video. I did save the fit. I didn't save it because it was such a piece of junk, but I took a snip of it right before I updated. And maybe the last video of the video before, I said I wanted to build a rupture. I was only going to use the stuff that I had on hand, try to get it out here, um, and then see what I could do. And here is that fit that I had, which is so bad. I'm so glad I didn't die because then the guy would laugh at my fit. Um, but I basically just threw on some guns, a missile launcher, which I still have, which I don't know why because it doesn't do hardly anything for me. Um, and then whatever I had in here, I didn't even have a anything to increase the power of my guns, which is what you want to have for your rupture. We almost had another visit from a dog, but I did in the last video talk about the idea that I wanted to go armor tanked because I thought out in this area it's a lot harder to um, find a place that you can dock up um, and repair yourself. At least until I'm able to bring out some mobile tractor units. Not mobile tractor units. Uh, what are they called? The oh shit, the mobile bases, whatever they're called. I haven't done that yet. That's one of my next stages. So I went a little bit of armor tank, but I didn't have a whole lot of stuff to throw in here. Then I had some other stuff up here, but nothing. Basically, my DPS, my damage per second, was only 77.3. Not good. The other part too is I was barely skilled into Inventar Cruiser. I'm still not that well skilled into it, and I wasn't very skilled in projectile guns, and that's what your bonuses are for this. So this is my current rupture. Looks almost exactly the same unless you zoom in on it. And I don't know if I knew this, but I didn't know it. The look of the ship is so particular that you can actually tell what is fitted onto it, whether or not they've got projectile guns or hybrid guns or rail guns or whatever. So that's pretty cool. But my new fit is no longer armor tanked because it is shield tanked. And I actually did smuggle in, and I'll explain that here in a second, but I smuggled in some rigs to help out. Why did I switch over? Well, first off, the lower slots down here are where you increase your damage most of the time. I can throw in some gyro stabilizers down here, and these are what increase the damage to my cannons. I can't do that in the middle slots. So if I'm wasting space in here for armor repair and armor tanking, then I can't do as much damage. And my skills are not that much better, but let me just pull this up sideways just to show you the difference between the two. I didn't change the guns and I didn't change the ammo. I think the ammo is a little bit different. But my damage per second has more than doubled. That is huge. And my Alpha Strike has almost tripled. Alpha Strike is if you have all of your guns linked together, one-shotting things, that's what an Alpha Strike is. That's very important when you're talking about sniping, I think. I haven't done it a lot, but I'm learning. So that is why I switched over to this. Now, the difference here is that I am shield tanked, and I threw in a multispectrum hardener and a kinetic hardener, and then a shield extender. All of these are Tech 1, by the way. All Tech 1. I'm trying to go base, then slowly build on top of it. Down the road, I'll go Tech 2, Tech 3, as I'm starting to reach my limits as far as my skills. But I wanted to get to a point where I could start killing rats and NPCs out here to start to gauge the strength of my ship. And I wasn't able to kill almost anything with this. Whereas with this ship, I'm actually able to take out some battle cruisers and I think even low-level battleships. And that is really important, I think, out here because number one, you're making your bounty money. Number two, you're getting parts off of them, which you can either use or you can melt down to make stuff. So I increased my shield here, and I hardened it up here. Then I also smuggled in a shield extending rig and an aerator rig to increase the speed, the damage rate, the speed of firing of my guns. Why did I choose these two? Well, I definitely wanted to do with the extender. I went with the aerator only because it was the only one available to me in Ren's at the time. Maybe it wasn't even Ren's. Maybe it was Egmar. I don't think it was even Ren's. I think it was there. I was just grabbing them at the end of my time. What I'd like to do is actually replace this, if I'm out here long enough and I'm able to survive, replace this with a salvage thing, or actually even throw in a salvage drone and start building rigs of my own. Then I don't have to go get them. But, so I increased the shield size, the damage it can take, and also the size here, and also increase the speed of my guns firing, which increased my damage per second. Okay, come on up. She wants to say hi. There she is. There's the girl. I'm not calling her over here. Lately, she just want to be on TV. Yeah, you did. This is Amanda. It's a good girl. It's a good girl. Yeah, it is. Is that enough? Are you good? Are you good? Okay. So, uh, long story short, I definitely have a lot of improvements that I can do. I can definitely improve on my skills, which I'll show you now. My Minotaur Cruiser is only a level 2, and my gunnery has a lot of improvement, which is what the Ruptured does a lot of. As you can see here, my Surgical Strike's just a level 2, Trajectory Analysis is just level 1, um, and some of the other things here, Rapid Firing, blah blah blah. Uh, Even my medium projectile turret is just a level 2. So a lot of growth here. I'm basically just throwing one in at a time to see how I get better at different things, see how much the different skills do. So at this point, I'm actually going to throw in, I've got my command center upgrades because once this gets to, it's 14 days away. It'll be a little bit longer than that because I keep throwing stuff in there. But once it gets to level 5, then if I'm still out here, so let's say 2 weeks from now, if I'm still out here, I will definitely look at bringing my planetary interaction out here and doing a lot more movement out here. So what I'm going to do now is actually throw in my Minotaur Cruiser. It's got 18 hours to get to level 3. Why am I doing that versus a lot of the other ones? Because it gives me a double whammy. Because if I have level 3 of Minotaur Cruiser, show info, it will increase my rate of fire from my medium projectile turrets and my damage. So this will go up dramatically. Not dramatically, but a decent amount. Last but not least, before I jump out there and get killed, because I actually want to go fly and blow some stuff up while I'm videotaping today. Kind of a cool thing. I was thinking, okay, I'm an old poker player. I used to play poker a lot, and I used to focus on ROI, return on investment. How much you invest in something and what is returned to you. Well, I'm going to gauge this expedition or each ship that I fly on an ROI. Now, the current ship cost me it's worth 17.8 million ISK. So, for me to make my money back, I need to make in bounties and salvage and everything 17.8 million ISK. Or I can just get lucky like I did yesterday, and flying back to the station, I came across um, a ship that had been blown up. Another player. I was thinking to myself, oh, it's pretty quiet out here. Nobody really shoots anybody. And then I came across a ship that had a bunch of Sisters Core scanners in it. It was just wreckage just lying out there. A scan rangefinder, all Tech 2 stuff, cargo scanner 2. What was it there? There was nanofiber shielding and a cloaking device, a level 2 cloaking device. I know that's here somewhere. You can probably see it and I can't. Basically, and all of this salvage here too. 5 million ISK worth of salvage and some data sets. So somebody was out scouting or scanning around and got caught. The weird part is this was left at a gate, and whoever killed him didn't go and take his stuff, which is very strange. So I picked it up. It's mine now. All right. What are you doing? What are you doing? Go lie down. Good girl. So basically, I've already made back at least twice as much as what I got just for flying out here. So that's kind of cool. Last but not least, I also brought out 2 blueprints to use for ammo. And I think I've got them in here. I brought an EMP blueprint out and a fusion. I'm sorry, a phased plasma blueprint and a fusion ammo blueprint out, just so I can make my own ammo. I'm not limited by what I can find out here. What I did was I actually did drop them off over here where I can also research them to make their costs down a little bit. It's a fairly quiet system over here. It's a one spot where there's NPC stations. Got to be careful going in and out. But and then what I'm starting to do recently is there's a couple of player stations that you can dock up at, only a few, but I'm not staying at them, and I'm not um, blowing things up in the same systems over and over again, because if somebody were to see that, they could then focus on trying to kill me. A great way to put it is, okay, let's go in here. Let's say I'm a pirate out there wanting to kill somebody. Well, let's go and see if we can find a spot where there's a lot of NPC kills. See where there's only 3 NPC kills in this system. So there's probably nobody out here ratting. Whereas, and I'm not sure if there is one here. I'm just going to randomly click on some stuff. So that's just one NPC kill there. There's not a whole lot of NPC ratting out here. Here's one that there's 25. That's still not hardly it at all. But let's say I'm somebody who's looking to fight somebody, and this has 50 every other hour, or 100 every other hour. Then I know that somebody's probably out there running some sites and just trying to accumulate some money. So that might be a spot that I go and try to kill them. So my thought is, don't just focus in one area. Go down here, go over here, go over here. Now it is a little bit scary because you are going from gate to gate. You've got to be ready to lose your ship at any point in time. But I'm ready to roll. Now there are 5 people in system right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to undock, and I'm going to stay on the station. This is a player-controlled station, so I am tethered. I'm just going to take a look around, see what I got for me. So, go ahead and undock here. Before I do anything, I just thought of this. I need to make sure I have ammo. Ammo, and the worst thing in the world is you start roaming around, you finally find a spot to do it. Okay, I got some ammo, and I got my drones. Okay. So you start roaming around, and then you find something that you want to kill, and you remember you forgot to load your guns. Okay. So I'm tethered now. Big thing now is, not too worried, I'm not going to be going and trying to kill anything in this system with so many people here. Let's go ahead and reload our guns just to make sure we're ready to roll there. I don't even know why I have these. I barely have any ammo on that one. I'm going to pull up the directional scanning. I got nothing within 14.3. So we will go ahead and look at the system in general. So 14.3 is this sphere right here. Okay, so there are no other ships within this sphere that I'm at right now. Now here's a safe spot that I have right here. It's a nice little safe spot that I don't have to worry about anything. But if you notice that none of the gates here are within that 14.3. So there could be a gate camp here. There could be a gate camp here. There could be one here. The system has 3, so that's 3 different. So none of these are within my thing. What I've done is, and what I'll end up doing as I live out here longer and longer, is try to put a safe spot within 14.3 from each one of these gates. So anytime I warp in, I'll label each safe spot with the gate size, and it will be close enough that I can see if there's any type of gate camp there. Doesn't say me if they've got one on the opposite side, but boy, cutting down that chances by 50% can help a lot. So I'm going to go ahead and warp to that. I am surprised I have yet to see a warp bubble out here. I'm sure they're out here, but I have yet to see one. Knock on wood. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get hopefully within 14.3 I am of this gate. Now again, when you are untethered, okay, so there is a drake near here, and there's also some large ships that have been destroyed. Okay? So that's important. So we'll go ahead and keep scanning. I'm perfectly fine as long as I don't see any combat probes here. Now, the big thing here is I'm not seeing any warp bubbles. Now, what I want to see is whether or not this Zorba, the Drake, is at this gate. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and cut down the range. I'll show you here on the map again. There we go. Okay. Let's go ahead and just keep this going. Now, if you're watching out for anything trying to scan you down, you put it at 360. I'm getting better and better at this. I'm liking it. Now, let's say, so anything that's within this range of me is there. But let's say I want to condense that down and see if I can kind of take a binoculars or a telescope and zoom in on something. Okay? So I'm going to take this down to a 5%. Now I can point this at different things. And anything that's within that cone would show up. Notice nothing is showing up that cone because it's pointed off into nothingness. But what I can do is, remember, I was right near this gate right here. I can hold down the C and click it, and it will aim me at that gate. And now when I scan, see where the Drake is? The Drake is probably at the gate, and the it also has the gate there, and it has the Rex. Okay, but you might be saying to yourself, but hey, that's interesting. I've never seen that. Look at the it's interesting. It's like a flash. Oh, wow, that is pretty cool. So it gives you a little highlighted thing, and then whatever the ship is, it gives you. That's kind of cool. I don't know if I've ever seen that. Maybe that's an update. There's a gate right there. It doesn't show the gate, but it shows wreckage and it shows the ship. Pretty freaking cool. Okay. So why is this important? Well, he doesn't have a warp bubble there. But could he drop one as soon as he sees me coming in? Yes, he could. Could he be sitting at the gate, and then as I jump to the gate and jump through it, he jumps with me and then locks me down there? Or there's a bubble on the other side. So that's why I'm not going to try to go through this gate. Now, he could just be over there killing stuff, but I'm not going to take the chance. So that is why you have a safe spot right near it. Now, if let's say I aim at this one, see how it only goes that far, only 14.3, so it doesn't actually show me what's at this gate. Alrighty? So what I'll end up doing next time is, I think that is a free station. Nope, that is somebody else's. That is not an open station. The other problem you run into with these are that they're not near any celestials. That is interesting. Normally gates are right near celestials. Oh, I'm sorry. I do want to bump this back out. There we go. Normally there's celestials that these are near that you can warp to then to look at. The last thing that I can do here is, since I'm not directly at the gate right now, see how I'm a little bit off? If I warp toward this one, but do it at 100. And on my way there, set a safe spot. Then I can warp back to it, and that'll save me one. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So we're going to go ahead and warp to 100. I'm going to hit Control B, safe 2. And as my ship gets closer to that, as it gets within 14.3, I will save it. Almost there, almost there. There we go. See how I dropped that safe spot right there? I'm 9.7 away. Now I got to be very careful. As soon as I land, I want to warp right back to this safe spot. Because I'm right at this gate. So if somebody had been here, if they were fast, they might be able to get back to me. So we're going to go ahead and warp within 100. And now I'm going to go from here back to my safe spot. And that's all good. The other thing that you can do is change the safe spot name so they reflect the gate that they're nearest to. So you can just quickly go to them whenever you warp into a system. As I start scouting out more and more of the systems here, I will start putting up safe spots at almost every single gate in every single system, just to be more and more careful. Safe spots are the lifeblood of living out here if you're not going to fly a ship that has cloak. Okay, so that makes me happy. And since I'm off of this one here, let's do that one last time. Warp to within 100, and we'll do the same thing. B, safe 3. And this will also get me to go from system to system, and I'll start planning out what I want to do in the future as far as planets. At some point, I want to drop down a station. I can also, in each system, or every other system, every third system, drop a mobile depot. Okay, we're almost within 14.3. There we go. It is dropped at 7.8 away. So perfect. I now have 3 spots. They're just kind of like perches. There are some guys on this gate that if I wanted to, I maybe kill. Oh, and they left. And warp back. The biggest problem with this, having the cruiser allows me to do more damage, but I am a lot slower. As far as turning and things like that. And the bigger the ships you have, the slower you will turn. So there's my safe spot. That's pretty much it. I actually did want to go out and shoot something, but I'm a little bit worried right now. I haven't taken a lot of time to look around the systems and where I want to go next. So you know what? Tomorrow, I promise, I will just jump out and start blowing things up as long as I haven't died tonight, and have a little bit of fun that way. And hopefully, I'll have a little bit of an update once I've gotten the Mimitar Cruiser skill up. Let's just timestamp it. Before Mimitar Cruiser goes up to level 3, I'm at 167.3 DPS. Alrighty. Well, I'm going to go ahead and edit this one a little bit longer than I expected. I really wanted to go out and shoot something, but I am going to go do that. But I'm going to take a little bit of break and shoot some stuff in Fallout 4. Alrighty. Fly safe, fly dangerously, fly however the heck you want. Have a good day. Have a good night. What is the Truman Show thing? That's going to be my new one. I got to find out what Truman says at the end of the Truman Show and say that. Uh, what do you say? Good day, good morning, good night, blah, blah, blah. All right. Have a good one.